Health Watch is presented by UMass Memorial Healthcare. Here, caring for you.
Welcome to Health Watch, presented by UMass Memorial Healthcare. I'm Brittany Schaefer. Today we're going to talk about healthy snacks for kids.
Snacks are important because they're another opportunity to provide nourishing food for a growing body, just as important as a meal would be. I think there's a common misconception that they can be treats and a little bit of leeway for them to be empty calorie, or we call non-nutritive. But you really have to see it as another valuable opportunity to nourish a child.
What should parents consider when choosing snacks?
Whole grains are still going to be important. Lots of fruits and vegetables, low saturated fat and trans fats. So we're going to be looking at healthy proteins and healthy fats. But with snack foods, we're also dealing with a lot of added sugar and salt. So that is something we want to keep extra in mind.
What should parents look for on food labels?
Food labels can be really intimidating for a lot of people. And it's something that I try to work with families to feel more and more comfortable. So we may just start with one or two items and then we can build from there. A lot of times what I'm keying people in on is the amount of fiber that is in a product. So especially grains, looking at the grams of fiber, that's very important. I also look at added sugar, and that's something now they're going to be separating as a separate line entity on food labels so that you can really tell, is this yogurt, so much of it is the sugars that are listed, some of it is naturally occurring, but some of it is the added sugar that they put into it. So then you can have a better idea of like, okay, well this had too much added sugar, so I think I'm going to try to find something different. The other things I have people look at a lot of times is the ingredient list. Things are listed by weight on an ingredient list. So whatever it is mainly comprised of, you'll see that listed first and then in descending order. So if sugar, for example, is listed first or second, that may be something you want to reconsider and look for a different product. But a lot of times I'm looking for, especially whole grains, the first ingredient I want to be something whole. Check out the grams of fiber, etc. There's some thought to say the more simple the better. They have rules about if it's more than, say, 5 ingredients that you want to maybe put it back. And then there's also ways to avoid that, which is to shop the perimeter in your store. Right. The things that are packaged tend to have more ingredients in them. And yes, sometimes these additives that are put in food, some of them may be completely benign, but some of them may not be so much. And it's really hard to know without a crazy science degree or chemist degree what that product, what the chemical actually is and what it's doing. Is it preserving the flavor? Is it helping the shelf life? Is it keeping it a certain color?
Are there any advantage to buying organic snacks?
The idea behind organic food for children is that the pesticides that are in the foods, they are, because of a child's body weight being less than an adult, that they feel the effects of those more so. So that is the concern for some parents to say, I really want to try to buy more organic for my family. Now, there is an obvious financial piece that comes with that commitment. So what I try to suggest to families is that they look at the big place where your money will get the most bang. So I look at animal products and I look at produce that has the highest pesticide retention. So we call it like the dirty dozen. There may be up to 16 of those, but there's certain fruits and vegetables that certainly will retain more of the pesticides. For example, apples. So if your child or your family really enjoys apples, that might be something worth spending the extra money and buying the organic apples for. And then some families just feel more comfortable, like with, you may have a big milk drinker in the family. That may be worth where you want to spend some of your money for organic. There's also, of course, the thing of supporting, better environment and supporting, organic farming. But for your children's sake, that is usually where the concern comes in.
What are some suggestions for healthy snacks?
The general ones that I tend to stick around with, or that I hear that are more nutritive, I would say cheese sticks, so low-fat cheese sticks. So again, not full fat because you want to keep the saturated fat lower. I would say whole grain crackers, and those that maybe are a little less salty. So whole grain crackers, for example, like Triscuits or Wheat Thins, and they have ones that have less salt in them. Popcorn, and I prefer to have you make it yourself. That would be great. Otherwise, the ones that are coming out in the packages, Skinny Pop and things like that, Smart Pop, those are great. Yogurt, lower sugar yogurts especially. So for example, Go-Gurts, right? We always talk about that. A healthier alternative, a lower sugar alternative would be the Siggi's. Siggi's is an Icelandic yogurt, and it just has less sugar per tube. So that would be an example. Fruit, vegetables, of course. Fruits, plain with yogurt for a dip, exactly. Or veggies that you would be dipping, and that can be dipped with hummus, with guacamole. A lot of kids like guacamole, and a lot of families don't try that necessarily, but that's a great healthy fat for them.